Hello and welcome. This is Dr. Paz and welcome to your virtual classroom for week 1. I'm going to try something a little different because when I use Canvas Studio, and that's a screen customatic recorder, it doesn't really like it when I try to annotate and do some other fancy stuff. So we're going to try to do something a bit different. And then this will let me share portions of my screen, and then I will go ahead and embed this into Canvas Studio. But anyhow, welcome. This is Dr. Paz, and the first thing I want to do is introduce myself to you, where I think some of you already know me, which is fabulous, and I absolutely love that. Love to have you in another course. But let me just go on in here and go back into our classroom and kind of show you where we're at. So welcome to CIS 140 accounting software. So let me share my screen here and show you that. And hopefully, let me make this a bit bigger because I am mirror imaging my screen, but welcome to our accounting software course and to QuickBooks. So first and foremost, I just kind of want to go over certain aspects of what we've got going on. And so basically, hopefully you've had the opportunity, let me go here, to look at our textbook, to download QuickBooks, to get technical support, and to look at the demos. If you have not, then I would highly recommend you do so. That would be just so smashing if you can go ahead and do that, because I think it would help you and it would eliminate probably a lot of your headaches and probably a lot of all of this crazy stuff that you're going to be experiencing. As with any type of software, as you know, it is definitely difficult to kind of get the hang of it. So first and foremost, let me go in here. Let me get rid of this. And here is your information for downloading. Let me stop sharing and just share my whole screen with you here. So hopefully this will work. And let me get rid of that because you don't need to see this fun stuff. Oh. So let me just move this out of the way. Here we go. So hopefully you're going to download a trial of the QuickBooks Desktop Enterprise. I do believe you should be able to get to that. So that is first and foremost. Then I would definitely download this walkthrough document here. And so once you log on, it kind of shows you how to go ahead and change it and how to get the accounting to 2015 version of it, so that you don't have to work through that. So that's the second step, I would say, that you want to go through. Then you want to download your QuickBooks. Obviously, I'm on a Mac, but I also have Windows computers, but whichever computer you have, you want to try to go in and download that. And then if we come back in here, then you will see how the direct link to download the QuickBooks, and then how to view your demos each week, right? And so it kind of tells you to click on each of the links. And if you have, hopefully you don't have Windows 8 anymore, but hopefully you're able to follow this information here, this bit. So hopefully this is where you will stay, where you're going to access the link, you're going to save the file that you want to download, and then you're going to hopefully double click it and it'll show you the demonstration step by step. This, I think, will be quite helpful for you in making that work. So hopefully that is all good. Let me go back into our module. So that will get you to how to view the demos. If you do need technical support, or if you just need to download QuickBooks, here is another student companion site that will hopefully help you to do that. And it goes in tandem with our textbook. And here you have the demonstration videos. And if you click up here, you'll be able to select each of those. And I do believe the demonstration videos will help you. They're MP4 files. It shows you how to do each of the steps. So hopefully that is helpful. So I would say the first order of business for us is to make sure that you get the textbook and the student companion site. So then what we're doing is we're going to do chapter 1, which is just a tour of QuickBooks Accountant. And then if we click next, Hopefully some of you have already done this and it is wonderful. I see a lot of familiar faces, so that is also fabulous. But please be sure to provide your name, give me a little bit of your background, where you currently are professionally or where you would like to be professionally, and hopefully what you hope to gain from this course. And then the second step is to confirm that you have access to the textbook and the companion site, which is the QuickBooks, which is exactly what I went over right here for you, right? So please be sure to go over this. Let me highlight this for you. Oops. Please be sure to go through each of the steps within this module, okay? And be sure to do the QuickBooks download and how, all of these steps here, so that hopefully it shows you. Yours might look a little different because you see I don't have everything all published here. So you should probably just see these pieces here, but that's all you need to do because we are on QuickBooks 2018. So sorry for the confusion. I have all of these other sites here, but hopefully this will be helpful for you here. Okay, so let me clear all of that. All right, so we're looking at day one. So now let's go into our assignments for this week. So let's just talk about installing QuickBooks. Hopefully you will be able to post your initial post by by Wednesday. But if you are not, that is okay. I am willing to accept assignments late. Just keep in mind that discussions are not accepted late. Meaning that on Sunday, as long as you post everything in your discussions by Sunday, I'm happy and I will be happy to give you credit. Granted, it won't be full credit if you did not post your initial post by Wednesday. But since this is our first week of class, and I also got a late start by not being able to enter our classroom until Monday itself, then don't worry. I just want to make sure that you're able to do this for this week and get you started on the right book. So on the right track. So let's go over some of the requirements here for us. So you are required to make at least 3 substantive posts in your discussion. Your initial post should be at least 150 words, and hopefully you're able to complete that on Wednesday or definitely before Sunday to earn credit. And then you need to respond to at least 2 other initial response posts, and those also have to be due by Sunday. So quality is the goal here. The expectation is that you will provide insightful, well-crafted, substantive posts that exhibit good spelling, grammar, citations if necessary, all that great stuff. So just meeting a word count will not ensure an A. And don't forget to review the writing resources here for guidance on completing those assignments. So for this first week discussion, installing QuickBooks, in which the initial post is due on Wednesday, then what you want to do here is the first step is to post an initial response. And if you can include any personal experience that you might have with QuickBooks, that would be smashing. If you don't, that's okay too. But first and foremost, were you able to access the textbook and able to access the software? And then were you able to successfully install QuickBooks? Hopefully the answer to this is yes. But if you did not, or did you have challenges? And if you did, share those challenges and solutions so we maybe can help each other kind of solve these issues. As with any software package, it is difficult. And you never know, it's trial and error. So if we can all help each other, that would be great. I would highly recommend for you to view the demos, and hopefully you found them helpful. But if you didn't, that's okay too. If you're able, if you have prior experience with QuickBooks and if you're able to do all of that, then that works out as well for all of us. So no problem. And then do you have any concerns about the course or the QuickBooks software? I know this is a new software and it's always kind of a challenge when you're dealing with software and when you're trying to make sure that the software is correct, but I really highly recommend those demos. But however you answer the questions to step one is fine. It's your personal experience and your personal choice. So that is great. And then for step two is hopefully what you're completing before Sunday, which is to read your other students' initial posts. And you're going to make at least those 2 substantive response posts by Sunday. And you're going to respond to those where you're adding some clarification. Hopefully you might be able to help with another, let's say, if there's somebody else had the same issues you had, or if you might be able to ask questions, maybe you're experiencing the same challenges that they are, or any which way that you can add constructively to the discussions. And your responses could be like a combination of the comments to your classmates, comments to myself. If there is a difference of opinion, that's great. Let's just be very professional about it and provide examples, or if you were able to solve an issue that possibly another student had, that is wonderful. Let's help them along. Let's all help each other. That is my goal all around. Perfect. So that is our first discussion that we have here. So, and then let's talk about our first assignment. And then obviously this video will be placed here in the virtual classroom task. And I will try to post the videos over the weekend so that way you have all week to do it. Apologies, always the first week. I always have challenges in trying to get into the classroom and get my activations, and it was a very last minute item, but this is a little bit midweek, but I accept all assignments except the discussion forums late. So if you don't submit your week 1 virtual classroom, you have until the end, you have until basically the end of the class to catch up, and the same thing with your assignments. I would say if you are going to submit an assignment late, you may want to submit that within the week. That would be ideal. But I completely understand, learning a new software like QuickBooks can be a challenge. But let's look at our week 1 assignment, and then I'll give you an introduction, and then we can go from there. So you want to access the student companion site and then select the QuickBooks download your desktop. And then you want to download the student data files, which you shall see right here for all of those. So I would say you want to download all of those if possible. And then complete the chapter 1 assignment located at the end of the chapter. All questions, including the subsections, must be filled out and fully answered to receive full credit. So let's go back into our modules and let's go back into our book site here. And let's load this assignment up. And let's see what we got for our first week's assignment and kind of go over that. And we'll give it a second to load. And here we are. And so this is our QuickBooks right here. And so we are on part 1, where we're looking our interactive tour here. So I highly recommend you go through this process and you look at our case for Larry's Landscaping and Garden Supply, and then read through how to use this textbook as efficiently as possible. Highly recommend that you look at all of these video demonstrations because it will show you exactly how to go through that. And then here is the Student Companion website, which is linked throughout our Canvas course as well. So hopefully you'll find these quite useful as we go along. And then QuickBooks Accountant, you're going to actually learn QuickBooks from the accounting point of view. And then the data files, which you see here from our, basically our first assignment. So definitely you want to follow these instructions, extract them to a folder, and then make sure that you have all of the files that you need. And then here's your first demonstration that I highly recommend you watch. So that way, if you are frustrated or have some challenges, you can do that. And then it gives us lists of information and it discusses forms of information. And here is an invoice, and it actually tells you each of the aspects of the invoice. And a register. So here we're looking at a checkbook register where we have the date, the check number, and the payee amount and the payment. So just giving you different tools and different forms that we use as accountants, right? And then here we have our P&L, our profit and loss statement, which is our income statement. And it shows our income accounts, and then it shows our cost of goods sold account. So that would lead us to believe that this is a manufacturing company, as we see. And then we show our gross profit. Sales minus cost of goods sold is our gross profit. Then we have all of our expenses to get to our net income. And so that is that piece of information here. Then we have how to launch QuickBooks. So these nice little gray boxes here, let me highlight that for you. This nice little gray box kind of shows you how to go about doing the step-by-step. So if you're not a demonstration overview video person and you are a more of a read and figure it out person, well, we have the solution just for you, whichever one works best. And here's another video demonstration on restoring and backing up a file as well. Excuse me. And then here it gives us the step-by-step instructions as well with the screenshots. So whether you want to watch the video, because I think some of you have mentioned in the discussion forum that you're not really video people. So then you can look at your textbook and hopefully go step-by-step and figure out the same bit of information. Then we have here the QuickBooks Accountant window. And then it shows us all of the icons, the menu bar, as you see here, the icon bar, which is one of my favorites. I am an icon person, and all of the information that we have. And then we pretty much continue on our discussion here to creating a backup file. I highly recommend backup files. Lord knows I've lost enough data in my day. So, and then the shortcut list and the menus list is the next topic of conversation. And you'll see those, and you'll see it's dynamic. So the menu list changes as you change different modules or as you go between different pieces. And so then we move on into accounts receivable here. And then we're showing you the accounts receivable aging summary, which tells you all of the clients and what they owe, if it's 1 to 30 days or current, or 31 to 60 days past due. So that gives us that information, and how we can graph our accounts receivable and how to go about doing that. And then we have, there we go. We have printing in QuickBooks, right? And it gives us a step-by-step on how to do that as well. And then we have the help menu. I am a big proponent of help, so make sure you know how to access the help menu. If in doubt, try that first, but if not, then always reach out and I'm happy to help you. And here is the step-by-step instructions on how to access that. So that is pretty good. And then we go into the date formats that we can select within QuickBooks. And the home page, and another, demonstration video on how to use the navigation centers if you so want to look at those. Again, I highly recommend those demonstration videos. I think they are pretty fantastic. So how to explore the home page is another aspect of it. Entering bills. So if you have that, or customer payments for your cash receipts, those two are helpful ways, and entering employee information, how to exit, very important. We want to make sure we exit in the right fashion so we don't corrupt our database. And then here are our practice questions and our matching. And then we go into the assignment. And if we go back into our module here, hopefully then we are looking at our assignment, and it tells us here that we want to complete chapter 1 assignment located at the end of the chapters. All questions, including the subsections, must be fully answered to receive full credit. So here is your chapter 1 assignment and the question. So it's on page 25 of our textbook and 26, because on 27 we start chapter 2. I believe, yeah. So let's go back to 25, and for the remaining of our virtual session here, come back and see how we can tackle this. So here we're working with the files. So we're going to open the Larry's Landscaping and Garden Supply. And when you see that, you'll see that right here, Larry's Landscaping and Garden Supply. And again, if we just click right here, student data files, that's what we get to. So I would download all of these files because eventually we're going to be working with most of these, if not all of them. But so that's the first one that you want to do, and to practice opening, closing, and printing. So you are going to create a customer balance summary report. That's your AR summary report. And you're going to use the 12/16/2020 due date from the customer and receivables menu on the reports menu, and then click the collapse button to condense the report and then print the resulting report. So in our case, you're not going to print it, but you're going to PDF it or save as a PDF so that you could submit it. And then you're going to practice using the QuickBooks Accountant help menu. So you're going to use the QuickBooks desktop help items, which is going to be in the QuickBooks Accountant help menu. And again, we saw that as part of our format here. And the easiest way here is you could see all of the items here, right, on the side. So hopefully that will help you. And so basically what you're going to do is you're going to learn more about the QuickBooks Accountant features. So you're going to search on printing a report, and then you're going to print that topic. And again, for our cases, you're going to print as a PDF, and you might save it as question 2, part A, printing a report. And then here you're going to add a customer, print this topic. So you could say question 2, part B, adding a customer. And then you're going to search on calculating payroll taxes manually, print the beginning through the section titled assets. So then you would do question maybe Q2, part C, payroll taxes manually. And then for question 2, part D, you're going to click on the chart of accounts from the company's menu, and you're going to press F1, which will open the QuickBooks Accountant's help menu, and then you're going to print that topic. And so again, you might call this Q2 part D COA for chart of accounts. So basically, so you're going to have several different PDF files, because you're not going to, or you can combine them all, that's totally welcome. But if not, you'll just have several different PDF files. So I expect one PDF file for question 1, and then for question 2, you might have 4 PDF files, or combine them into one PDF file for question 2. But now let's move on to question 3, where you're going to access inventory data. So here you're going to go to the Scott Movaldo wants to know the amount and nature of inventory on hand as of December 15, 2022. So again, we're still opening the Larry's Landscape and Garden Supply Fit. And if we click on that, you'll see that here. So let me highlight. This is the file you're going to be using so far for chapter 1. And we accessed this by clicking under the assignment, the student data files. So that is where we're at on that case. And then back to our assignment here. Once you open that file, then you're going to open the inventory valuation summary report. And then you're just going to write your responses to the questions below, but you're going to print the inventory valuation report summary. So in this case, you're going to have 2 different files for this deliverable, right? So you're going to print the inventory valuation report, and then you're going to have probably a Word document that will answer these 4 questions. So you would probably put question 3, type in the question, what is the item description of the inventory item pump, and then answer that. And then you might have 3B, all in. So these here would be, let me change that right here. This here would be in one Word file. And then you'd have a PDF probably for this file right here, the inventory valuation summary. So for part B here, you're going to have how many of the items were on hand as of the December 15th, 2022 date. And then here, what is the average cost of the item? And you should be able to retrieve that directly from the inventory valuation summary report. And then here's, you're going to print the inventory evaluation report, but in landscape orientation, not portrait, but landscape. So don't forget to do that. So again, you'll have 2 deliverables for this question 3, the PDF in landscape orientation of the inventory evaluation report, which is part D, and you can label it as such, question 3, part D. And then you'll have a Word document, probably with question 3, part A, part B, and part C, your solutions to that. Or if you so choose, in your PDF, you can insert text and answer those questions as well. So it's up to you whether you want to submit one PDF file with all of your text inserted into that, or if it's easier just for you to do the Word document, absolutely okay too. Perfect. So let me clear all of that and let's get to the last part of this assignment. Let's see. So the next piece is that we're going to talk about accessing the sales data. So let's make a note right here. So Scott has questions about the company's sales for the month of December. So again, we're still working with the Larry's landscaping and garden supply file. So let me show you where that is again. If you click right here under student data files, you will come up with this source here. And again, this is the file we are working with, the Larry's landscaping and garden supply. So that is the data file for our chapter 1. All right, so let's go back in here because we are accessing the sales data. And then we have Larry's landscaping and garden supply. And so we're going to now open the sales by customer detail report. And we're going to write our responses to the following questions. So you can continue this particular response in the Word document that you had for question 3. So you could just say, question 3 and 4. Or again, if you're opening the sales by customer detailed report, you can add the questions into that report as well. Up to you how you so choose to do it. But first you're going to what amount was the DJ's computers billed this period? So this is what we are billing the DJ's computers. And then for part B, what was Jim's family store billed this period? So again, we're looking at our sales data. So that's our sales revenue. So how much did we bill to Jim's family store? And what was the total amount billed during the period? Okay. So again, you are going to have several deliverables. Let me clear this. So in this one per se, you can actually take the Excel file that is given to you or the files that are given to you and add that information. You can put that information in Word and then type that up, or you can, and that would be for question 3 and 4. But now let me go in here and just download this file right here for you and see what we have. So we can take a look at that pretty briefly. Got a few seconds that we're waiting for this to open. So, and this is the QuickBooks file. So I don't have QuickBooks on this machine, but hopefully when you open up this QuickBooks file, you'll be able to see that. If you have trouble opening that file, make sure that you go back into our modules here and that you follow all of these steps right here to how to get the demos, like the technical support, the walkthrough demos, and all that other good stuff. So that is, so basically, if you didn't do your check-in on Monday, that is totally okay. I accept everything until Sunday. Keep in mind, the discussions are not accepted late, but I do accept the assignments, and obviously the first virtual classroom video will be here. And what I do is I've recorded this using Zoom, but I'm going to import that into Canvas Studio. And the reason I did that is because in the other class I'm teaching, I tried to use the Canvas Studio, but with Screencast-O-Matic, it doesn't like all of the annotations that I do and things of that nature. So that's why I chose to do it here and kind of go through so many of the videos or in between the videos there. But you have until each week To complete the virtual classroom tasks, I will try to put in anywhere from 3 or 4, possibly 5 questions, multiple choice questions that you can answer in there. But basically, it's just to ensure that you watch this video to hopefully help you answer questions. But just as long as you submit by the Sunday, the discussions, that's great. I will accept assignments late, and I will accept the virtual classroom tasks late as well, because I know everyone works on a different time schedule here. Let me stop sharing and see what happens. So hopefully, let me see here. So I would say the key point is to make sure that you are downloading the QuickBooks videos, the QuickBooks desktop, and you are accessing that, and that you're able to open the QuickBooks file for the Larry's Landscaping and Garden Supply for this week, to make sure that you're able to access the different reports. You could save them as a PDF and then you can type over them, or you could save it as a PDF and then, but make sure that everything is labeled. Let me share this again. Make sure that everything is labeled. So here you would have, a chapter 1, and that here it's telling you that you're going to create a customer balance report. And so basically you want to make sure you have that, and then you're labeling it, chapter 1, question 1. And here you want to make sure that you're labeling it chapter 1, question 2, part A, part B, part C, etc. And then for chapter 3, you have the inventory valuation report. You can answer the questions directly on there, and then PDF it and upload it into our assignment. And make sure that everything is to be uploaded right here under your chapter 1 assignments. So you're going to make sure you get to that. Make sure everything is labeled accordingly. And I would say make a note of that, so that way that you have each one labeled, so that I don't miss anything and I don't erroneously tell you, that something is missing when it is truly there. And then the last bit of information I want to show you is right here. It's my homepage, drvpaz.com. And I think I've met several of you before, but if not, this is my printable bio right here. And hopefully you'll see everything you need to know about me. And then I also try to include my YouTube channel. And if you do a Dr. Paz bio on my YouTube channel, you'll see my biography evolved over time. So it is my pleasure to see so many of you again, and I will see you again hopefully next week for our virtual video as well. Have fun. Thanks for watching.